the idea is we need to remember that it's always a question of choice. How will
Mm,
you face what is in front of you?
mhm,
Sometimes it's something pleasant that is in front of you, and you
mhm,
choose not to celebrate it because it's too much time. We need to go to the next objective and we need to move on. Or no, I'm stuck in a bad mood and I'm hanging on to it. And sometimes it's something bad in front of you that maybe we should take a pause and say, okay, what do we do with this?
mhm.
How do we learn from this? How do we grow? And it's so, I believe it's always a question of choice.
A growing health, wellness, and leadership podcast designed for you to become your most empowered self.
Great day, amazing humans. Welcome to the Empowered in My Skin podcast, where our mission is to help 1 billion people in this world think in more empowering ways. Empowered humans empower humans. So you are the right spot to become a lead domino for empowerment today. So let the show begin. Yes, great day, amazing humans. Welcome to the next episode of Empowered in My Skin. Oh my God. Okay, so first of all, like this is the episode on steroids. I'm just saying that right now. Okay, like just get ready. You don't need to exercise today. Well, you need to exercise, but you don't need coffee. This is it. This is gonna carry you for the rest of the year. Okay, so our guest today is an engaged father of 4, husband of a mountain climber. We'll get to that. A lover of real maple syrup and has won North America's largest inspirational speaking competition. Get this one. He is 50% humor, 50% energy, and 100% emotion. A true powerhouse of inspiration and action with a passion for helping people find happiness in their work. With a career spanning coaching, teaching, and training, he's honed his skills as an expert communicator and passionate speaker. And that's exactly why he's here, because I was so impassioned by a speech I listened to. I was like, get him on, team, go do it. Anyway, he has touched the lives of entrepreneurs in over 20 countries with his dynamic keynotes. His infectious energy, humor, and unwavering commitment to inspiring teams to achieve their goals makes him a force to be reckoned with. I trust that you're as excited as I am to learn more about our guest. So please join me in the gigantic podcast welcome to an incredible human who rivals inspiration and action. In fact, they knock on his door every day saying, help me, help me. And ladies and gentlemen, Martin Lespérance. Yeah.
Wow. This is by far, by far, like out to the moon and back, the best intro I have ever gotten,
Uh,
ever in my whole career. Unreal.
Well, I have to. I'm so excited to meet you. I was like, this is gonna be so great. I have to do your bio justice. Um, so I don't even know where to start with you because I just know this is gonna be amazing, and you're gonna share some amazing stories and some truth. But I want to start with what has been your most empowering thought of the day so far?
Interesting. It's you know what? I was talking to one of my best friend. His name is JF,
Mm.
and I'm
Same
not
JF
going
with the
to
bike, and you're on the.
no, that's not the same JF as the as a bike, but I have a couple of JFs in my life. You know, you need to collect a couple of JFs in your life if you want like a fully purposed. Anyway, so and JF was the highest energy friend I have by far, and he he has like a lungs disease that is almost uncurable, and a week ago, he got a double transplant of his lungs. And today I talked to him for the first time and I found the JF that was before the illness.
Oh wow.
And it's
Oh.
unreal, and all through the call that we had together, we we talked about how grateful to be
Mm,
in the moment of now.
mm,
Now, in the
mm,
moment now. I mean, celebrate yesterday and the days
mhm,
before and so on,
mhm,
and stop stressing and anxiety about the
mhm,
future, and live the moment of now. And he was telling me, "Martin, I am alive." And it's almost like the song from Celine. And it was truly, it's there.
Yeah.
It's and don't we need to remember this
Yeah.
on a daily basis?
Yeah.
We are here now.
Yeah.
And I link to that in my
Yeah.
keynote Inspire
Yeah.
on the fact of being present, being in the moment. And in a world where
I
I'm showing
know. The
my smartphone right
distraction.
now
Yeah.
on this, it's unreal. We are
Mm-hmm.
always with people that are not here.
Yeah.
We are always with people that are on the other side of the world, with this, with that, on social media. But what about the person that is right in
Yeah.
front of you, right
Yeah.
here now, with
The most
you, with
important
your list?
person, the most
Yeah,
important person is the person you're with in the present moment.
yeah, and that includes yourself as
Mm-hmm.
well.
Mm-hmm.
in
Mm-hmm.
in the fact that do you listen to yourself, and how do you, I don't know which talk you have seen in Kechi, but sometimes I ask the participants, who do you talk to the most in a day?
Me.
And I'm going to ask you that question. Who do
Me.
you talk? Yeah, you talk to yourself.
Yeah.
Sometimes loud, right?
Sometimes really loud, and I'm like, yeah, yes, but I will tell you this. I do a lot of self-talk to myself
You do?
every day. I've been doing it consistently, definitely since the pandemic started.
Yeah.
I've been doing it even pre-pandemic, like I just have that daily habit. So I actually do hear me telling myself how awesome and phenomenal I am a lot, but I do hear some other voices as well.
Yeah, and
It's
don't
like,
we all? And that's the
yeah,
thing. I have people realize that, I mean, of course, who would talk to others the same way they talk to
to
themselves?
themselves, yeah.
It's unreal. I mean, and yet there's always that one person in the back of the room that raises their hand and I say everything to everybody. I have no filter. And the whole room turns around and says, yeah, we know, buddy. Um, but seriously, and so be gentle. Give
Mm-hmm.
yourselves a break. I mean, be
Mm-hmm.
in the moment of now, and nobody's perfect. I
Yeah.
make fun sometimes. I asked Chat GPT, who was ever perfect so far? And Chat GPT said, nobody, Martin.
Yeah.
Nobody.
Not today, not
And
you, not
no,
anybody, not
no.
yet. Yeah, there's nobody.
So give yourselves a break. Who said
Yeah.
we always need to have the answer,
Mm-hmm.
the best solution,
Mm-hmm.
the best way of? We put so much pressure on ourselves.
Yeah.
It's like give yourselves a break and celebrate being here now in the
Yeah.
moment, being alive.
Yeah. I'm actually there's a book I'm just gonna, shameless plug to Michael Singer, but he wrote this book on tethered soul. And one of the best quotes that I will be honest with you, because it is with all the distractions. So before, just a minute ago, for anyone that's listening to this in audio, because we also have it on YouTube, but in audio, he picked up his phone earlier to, as a demonstration of that's what's distracting us so much. It's stealing our distraction every single moment of the day. But there's this amazing quote that I try to keep in front of me so much, Martin. It's enjoy, like the present moment, like step into the present moment and don't let it hit stuff.
Mm,
I love, like, I try to, like, it's so simple that even when I feel I'm veering away, I'm like, step
yeah.
into the present moment, don't let it hit stuff. I try to keep that in
I
front of me
love
so
this.
much. Yeah.
One of my best quote ever
Mhm.
that I've heard, and you're going to laugh at me though, but that's fine, and your listeners will probably laugh at me and say, "Oh, come on, you can find something better." But it's from you saw the Netflix series Suits with
Yes,
Harvey
yes,
Specter,
yes, but I don't know what quote you're gonna go to.
and he says, "You always have the choice."
Mm,
And to me in life, this guides me in my behavior in the fact
mm,
that you always have the choice. I mean, and one person came to see me at the end of a show a couple of weeks ago and said, "Hey, Martin, give me a break. Sometimes we don't have the choice." And I said, "Well, what do you mean by that?" He said, "Well, sometimes." things are thrown at you and you can't choose. And I'm there, okay, no, that's right. I mean, life is an adventure. And some ups, some downs. I link to it as a almost like electrocardiogram, you know, an EKG, ECG, where sometimes there's up, sometimes there's down, but you don't want flat line, so you don't. But you need some ups and you need some downs to keep the heart pumping. And the idea is we need to remember that it's always a question of choice. How will you face what is in front of you? Sometimes it's something pleasant that is in front of you, and you choose not to celebrate it because it's too much time. We need to go to the next objective and we need to move on. Or no, I'm stuck in a bad mood and I'm hanging on to it. And sometimes it's something bad in front of you that maybe we should take a pause and say, okay, what do we do with this? How do we learn from this? How do we grow? And it's so, I believe it's always a question of choice.
Yeah. Yeah. And I also believe too that you have to be careful because a lot of times the choices that you make, you get to keep them. Right, like you get to, and sometimes you want to hang on tight to certain things, but and if things around you are moving and making different choices that are more serving, then unfortunately you're going to be left holding on to something. So talk about holding on to something. Let's talk about this yellow ball.
Oh yeah.
I asked for a yellow ball. So there's a yellow ball that he has that has a beautiful smiley face on it. It can only, right, there you go. It can only make you smile. But I actually don't, what's the, like, where, like the history of it? Can you take us back there?
Well, the idea is, I know, the listeners know that there are some people who walk around with this negative energy inside them. And stress, anxiety, frustration, don't feel like it. I mean, disengagement scores inside organizations in North America have never been so high. It's close to 80% of the people in organizations that are disengaged right now. So there's a lot of people that walk around with this negative energy, and some of them walk around 365 days a year. And it might not be you, and it might not be me. And I think it's definitely not you and me. But sometimes it yeah, wait, because we drink the Kool-Aid. But the idea is maybe it's you and me once in a while. When the day is not going our way, when all of a sudden the energy changes. And the idea is it hurts, it's painful inside of you. So what do you want to do? You want to get rid of it, and you end up giving it to people around you. So you have a choice to walk around with this negative core of energy, or to walk around with the yellow smiley face. And it's a question of choice. And at some point, you need to be able in your life to take on this negative ball of energy and then paint it yellow, draw a smile on it, and be able to walk around with that. Because there's way too many people right now that are walking around with this energy of disengagement. And we spend about 70% of our awakened hours in our life, 70% of our awakened hours in work mode. Prepare for work, go to work, we are at work, we drive back from work, we work at home, and then 70%. So if
that is not your happy for 70%, then imagine what life feels like.
Imagine how life will be. It's unreal. I mean, life can be long, or life is too short for that. So what can we do? So the idea is you need to make a choice, a conscious choice, to walk around with this yellow smiley face ball within you, and to transform. And the more I believe that you let yourself be inspired by others, the more you're going to become inspiring to others.
It's so one of the things I feel like, because as human beings, I truly do believe. So another great book that I read years ago, the beginning of my like personal was by Marianne Williamson. And the it's called A Return to Love. A really
Mm,
popular quote comes from her: "Our deepest fear is not that we're inadequate." That one. But she talks about babies are born into love and we learn hate.
mm,
And so if we can learn hate, we can unlearn it also. And so I truly do
true.
believe as human beings, our sole purpose for being here on the earth was to spread love. And I
Oh,
believe
wow.
because of that, then every moment that passes by us should be better because it did. Like, you know what I
I
mean? And
love this.
so you're the epitome of that. That said, I have to ask because I'm
Mm,
curious to know how you answer this. You must get this question.
mm.
When you are faced with somebody who does not match you in energy or mood and comes with more of an unserving energy, I don't even want to call it
Yeah,
negative, just an
yeah,
unserving
yeah,
energy.
yeah,
How,
yeah.
like, what are your tactics for like managing that and protecting your space? So two things. What are
Yeah,
your tactics for managing
yeah,
that? And then how do you protect
yeah.
your space?
Well, the first thing I'd like to do is, and this is what in the Inspire talk that I do, we talk about 4 not so surprising secrets on how you can be inspired and be inspiring to others. And you're going to need to pick one of these 4 not so surprising secret
Mm,
to face the situation you're
mm,
talking about, and you're going to need to be present,
mm,
to be here in the moment, in front. I mean, this person that is going from cubicle to cubicle in the office, trying to spread going from cubicle, from office door sill to door sill. The idea is, can can someone in their journey stop them, have a seat with them, and actually sit down and talk?
mm,
Can we talk it over? Can we just be present in the moment? Please tell me what's happening. What is
mm,
happening to you that is causing this reaction, this energy inside you? And I believe that with this, if we would take time, but everybody's in a rush, seriously, and
mhm,
you see them come your way, and immediately we walk the other way because
mhm,
gotta go.
mhm,
So can we at
mm,
least just be in front of them and be present? And I
mm,
mean, then you can tag along to the 3 other not so surprising secret, but the key is to, you need to, someone in their journey of trying to spread the not so serving energy that you were
mhm,
talking about, someone needs to sit down and actually listen and be present. And
mm,
once this is done, all of a sudden, I mean, one of the key needs, human needs that we have, is to be heard, to be
mhm,
understood, to and
mm,
and at some point, if someone along the way takes time to do it, then all of a sudden feels like all of a sudden the pressure releases. It's not completely disappeared, but the
mm.
pressure releases. That's for sure.
Hmm. That's a big one. Like to your point, because I'm checking myself
Mhm.
on that. It depends for me, as bad as it is, I'm going to practice that more, but a
Yeah.
lot of times it actually depends on who.
Mm.
So if the person is of value, I
Yeah.
can see myself doing that. That
Yeah.
said, I'm also a leader at work.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
sometimes the job mandates that. But
Yeah.
outside of that, that's about that's big. But I get it. Like as soon as you said it too, you know what you did? You said be present. You brought everything like
Yeah.
stop the frenzy.
Yeah.
Let's just take a moment. And I'm assuming
One.
they might figure it out by now hearing themselves and having an avenue and an outlet to
Yeah.
share. They suddenly hear, yeah, is that what it happened? And then the energy
Yeah.
shifts. Have you
And Ketchy, you said something very interesting, because you said you are in a leading role, management role, right? And I believe in life that we can all be leaders. Nothing, nothing, it has
Yeah.
no
Title.
relationship
Yeah, you're
with the
right.
title on our name tag, right?
You're right.
Or on our business card. So the idea is, when all of a sudden you decided to have a leader's mindset, the goal is to take care of the people around you, because you're sort of hoping they're going to take care of you. I was in the reserve of the Canadian Armed Forces way back then when I was way younger. And I mean, this is something you learn right away in the army: is you need to take care of your buddy, because you're going to need them to take care of you. And to me, this is true leadership. And so and we've all seen pictures. I remember this picture from Barack Obama shaking the hand of a janitor in the White House and asking how he was doing, and everybody was important. Everybody had the same importance. I mean, and that's what I keep saying in people that work in organizations. Even though you're not in the executive committee, um, let's say we go on a trip for 1 month down south. Do you think your company will keep on working? And everybody says, no. I mean, everything will stop. And I said, well, now you realize that you are as much of a value as anybody in the executive committee. So everybody has their importance in our journey. The one of value.
Yeah.
And you know what? I think everybody is of value.
Yeah, I agree. I do agree with that philosophy. So you dangled three more.
Yeah,
So
I did. I
so
did.
can you share the other three?
Yeah, I knew you were going there.
Like you said before, you stopped at one. Let's go.
Well, the the second one is that's my friend JF. The probably the talk that you saw online. I put a bit on that I used for Speaker Slam when I won the finals. Was my speech was about JF inviting me to join his cycling team, and it was a tough ride, 1,000 kilometers. Imagine that, 1,000. I'm like, no way.
No.
And he said, come on, join us. And at some point he says that, we also collect money for an underprivileged elementary school, and we inspire the kids to adopt healthy habits. And I'm like, you got me, man. You got me straight in the heart as we give back. So I said, I'm in. And that's when I joined Le Grand Défi Pierre Lavoie, which is a huge movement in the province of Quebec, where they encourage the kids to have healthy habits. And we ride 1,000 kilometers by bike to collect money and raise awareness. And I remember the first stage that we did on a bike. I mean, it was one of the toughest thing I've ever done in my life. And at the end of it, I crossed the finish line and I'm in tears. And even though this was so tough, I was doing it for someone else, for them, for the kids. And that's when I realized that, well, I don't know. Do you have kids?
I don't.
No. Do some of your listeners have kids?
Yes, 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 yes,
I'm talking to your listeners
yeah.
now. Do you have kids?
Yeah.
If you have kids, have you ever lost night sleeps for your kids? And I see hands up in the cars and bus and trams and everywhere. So was it worth it? And everybody's going to say, yes, it was worth it. And so when we do things for others, all of a
Except those
sudden,
currently going through it.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
Maybe it will be worth it.
It will. Give yourselves a break. We said it earlier. But the idea is, and that links to finding purpose and living your why. And to me, having a why is about serving others. You provide, you give, you serve, you inform, you teach, you care, the arrow points outward, not inward. And as soon as you find this in your life, or in your organization, if you are in an organization, and you can voice it and live it on a daily basis, all of a sudden, it's
Mm,
worth the sacrifice. It's worth doing the extra hour. It's worth doing the extra day, the extra call, the extra
mhm,
something. And in life, in personal life, it's the same thing. As soon as you uncover why we are here, and I'm not even going into the spiritual aspect of
mhm,
it, but even why are we here on this nice big blue planet for the
mhm,
trip that we are? Who are you serving? Are you just here for enjoying the ride, or are you here to actually do something and serve?
mhm, mhm,
So as soon as you realize this, I think that all of a sudden you're going to be inspired by a lot of things, and all of a sudden people around you will look at you and say, you are inspiring.
I
So that
love
is
that.
definitely the not so surprising secret number two. Live your why.
So can you still owe me two more, but I
I
have to
know,
just ask you because I
I
know you
know.
do a lot of work and I read it in your bio organizations. And so back to your original mention about the engagement being at its ultimate low. So how would that translate in an organization? Is it the organization's why? Is it teams why? Is it
Yeah,
individual wise? Is it a collection
yeah.
of all? Like how do you get
It's
that message?
it's interesting. I'll tell you a story on that. The president of a international company brings me in. I walk into his office and he said, Martin, I need your help. I need you to motivate my team. I want them to be engaged, motivated. I want energy in there. I'm saying, good. And then we talk about what they do, but then I ask him, why do you do what you do? And he said, well, Martin, we're here to make money. We need to reach the numbers so that we can give back to the shareholders. And I'm there. Okay. That's the challenge. You want the employees to be engaged and motivated so that you make money, so that they make profit. That's, I mean, for a couple of weeks, let's go with that. But I mean, when you get some headwinds, when you are struggling, when you're lacking resources, when people are questioning themselves into, am I doing the right job right now? Am I serving? Am I living my purpose? All of a sudden, they will look at what they're doing on a daily basis and say, this is not worth the sacrifice.
Mm,
So we actually sat down with his employees and I asked them, why do you do what you do? And I looked at the president and I say, shh, do not say anything. Let them do the talking. And you know what? They were a packaging company. They were making bottles. And the employees from the team said, you know what, Martin? We make dreams come true. And I said, what?
mm,
And even the president was like, what? And they said yes, because when startup companies call us and they want to launch a new product, they want to put it on the shelf. If we can find the best container, plastic bottle for their product,
mm,
it's either going to make it or break it.
mm,
And so, you know what? On a daily basis, we make dreams come true. And I turned to the president and
mm,
I said, see what you're doing? You want your people to be engaged? They need to be working to be out there serving their customers, their clients, their so an organization's why and purpose needs to be geared around the actual mission that they're doing
mhm,
and I find it funny when organizations say our mission is to be number one into. What
mhm,
do you mean number one? That's not a
mm,
mission. I mean,
mhm,
that's maybe a wish, but I
mhm,
mean, that's not your mission. So I think that every corporation organization should have their own why purpose, goal of why we're doing what we're doing, and the
mhm,
whole company should be able to phrase it. But
mhm,
the JF that got me on the bike, we were in the car driving back from a keynote, and he once asked me, are you going to do this for the rest of your life? I turned to him, I said, well, yeah, I think so. I've always been in coaching, teaching, training. So I said, I think I'll do it. It's, oh, you're creative. You could do marketing. You coach leadership. You could lead a team. I said, no, I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. I love doing this. He said, and seriously, I've always loved my job. And I find a lot of people don't. So that's when JF asked me the 3-letter question, why? And for the first time at age 37 or 38, I asked myself, that's a good question. Why do I love to do what I do? And that's when I started to look for purpose and why. And I started to dig around here, there, and everywhere. And I found out that, and I was able to phrase it. My goal in life is to inspire you and your listeners to take action. Because if you take action, I'm guessing that you're going to be happier, more engaged, and motivated. And if you are happier, engaged, and motivated, then your organization will be more profitable, will be more successful. They'll be able to take good care of you. Then you'll be happier, engaged, and motivated, and the wheel will keep on going. So to me, when I travel the world to give talks with, and you know this world, it's a lot of people are scared of doing public speaking. I get in front of groups of tens, hundreds, thousands, and I'm excited, like unreal. My toes are going crazy in my running shoes, because I know that if there are a couple of people in the room that are that we can touch, that we can inspire, so that they actually do something with it, they're going to be either happier, engaged, motivated, and then, you know what? Maybe we just change their life. And after every show that I do, people come and see me. People send me hugs. I used to get handshakes. Now people give me hugs, and they give me hugs. At the end, they come and see me and say, I needed that. This was so good. This is good timing. People need to remember why we're doing what we're doing and to connect with one another. I think everybody wants to love their job. They just forgot that they could.
That's the key. They don't need any. I always say you need nothing else but what already lives inside of you and deposited in you to make the next moment a better one and a happier one and a more fulfilled one, right? It's everything's already inside of you, and then growth naturally, organically just continues to happen. Okay, the next two.
Okay, next two. The next one is comes with
be present, and we have
live your why.
Your why.
And the third one comes and it goes with a long story, but I'll give you the short story. Okay. Last weekend, or a couple of weekends ago, I went to have breakfast with my son, in one of these breakfast restaurants. And you know, they have this 2 sets of doors at the entrance.
Yeah. So one coming in, one coming out type thing?
Yeah. To the 2 levels, because it's cold. I mean, I'm in Quebec.
And then another one inside.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
So I'm holding the door as my son goes in. And of course, as I'm holding the door, the bus of people leaving the restaurant is walking out. So I'm holding the door. If you're looking for me during the weekend, I'm holding the door at the breakfast place not too far from the house. So I'm holding the door. And out of 10 people, how many out of 10 gave me either a smile or a thank you? How many?
I'm going to say out of 10, maybe 2.
2? I ask every time in the groups that I have, how many have, and sometimes I get 6, 7.
Sorry, without
8.
you doing anything, just holding the door?
Just holding the door. I'm
going to say 2.
Yeah. And I ask people, and sometimes I get 6 and 7 as an answer from people in groups. And I always ask them, like, where do you live?
What door
are there unicorns in your postal codes? Actually, one person gave me a smile. And I
Wow.
turned to this gentleman and I said, "Thank you so much. I wasn't doing it for that, but your smile just warmed my heart." And he left, with a belly full of pancakes and and waffles. And that was funny. And but you should have seen the other 9 in the line. Like they looked at me with this attitude, going like, "Mm-hmm. You were you were just holding the door. Like, we need to thank every." Well, you know what? What happened to gratitude?
Yeah.
Where was I when gratitude got canceled? We see a lot of things get canceled
Yeah.
right now.
Cancel culture.
Who
Yeah.
yeah, who canceled gratitude? And seriously, what happened? Where was I? Was I on a trip somewhere giving a talk in Phoenix or somewhere? Let's cancel gratitude. Forget that. So, you know what? I say gratitude to the people around you. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
be grateful. I
Mm.
mean, be grateful, show gratitude. Gratitude should be an attitude. It
Mm.
should, and to the, yeah, that's what I do sometimes. Yeah, dude, like that. Gratitude is an attitude. It's and it should be. It should be part of the all-inclusive bracelet they give you, when you go down south. It should be part of it, but it's disappeared. And I think we need to get back to that
Yeah.
instead of being everybody for their own. I mean, I don't know if there's a
Mm-hmm.
Costco in your neck of the woods, but I mean, don't go to Costco in the weekends. I mean, everybody's on their own and
Mm-hmm.
everybody's walking around. So come on, be grateful.
Yeah.
So, and when we talk about being grateful, of course, to
Mm-hmm.
others, but I asked you before, who do you talk to the most in a day?
Yourself.
And you said,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
so be grateful to
To
you too.
yourself. Yeah. And
Yeah.
it comes back
And
to you tenfold. I always say you can't be hateful when you're grateful. Like it's
no,
just the two
yeah,
can't, you know,
it has a huge boomerang effect. That's what I
huge.
call it. You throw it out there and it comes up back at you. And I'm not saying throw it out there to get some back, but test it. You'll
Yeah.
see.
Yeah.
So that's not the not so surprising secret. Number 3 is be grateful.
Yeah.
And finally, you want to know the fourth one?
I know it.
Oh, you do, huh?
Yeah.
You do. You
Yeah.
do. And
Because I
and
listened to you.
yeah.
Because I
And the
researched
fourth,
you.
and seriously, well, let's talk to your listeners. I mean, we've all heard that life is short, time flies, and life can be very long if you're not having fun. Can we at least have fun while we're doing this? And I know that a lot of people live on the dark side of the force with Darth Vader and everybody. But I mean, join us on the good side of the force. I mean, we have Princess Leia, we have the Ewoks, these little teddy bears. So join us, have fun. It's okay to miss. It's okay to not get it right. As soon as you can create this environment where people around you can have fun, where it's okay to miss, to drop the ball, to and to sometimes I tell my kids, you know, having fun includes sometimes looking a bit weird
Yes.
and accepting that we're going to be a bit different, where a lot of people, they all want to be the same and to fit in. But I mean, have fun, find the joy. But you know what? And I get that all the time. People are waiting. They're waiting for the go,
I know.
the green light. They're waiting for the package from HR to arrive. It's
Yeah.
not going to happen.
Yeah.
The box from humans resources will not open up and joy will come out of it. Forget that. It's not going to happen. So you want to have fun?
Have it
Let's
now.
go.
Yeah.
Do it.
Have it
So,
now.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, culture is created by the people that walk the floor. If you want
Mm-hmm.
to wait for the values of the organization to trickle down, fine by me. But I mean,
Mm-hmm.
if you want to create culture where it's happy time when we go to work, when the light is easy to turn on in the morning, when we go to work, when we get in the car, when we face life, then you know what? You need to make it happen.
Yeah.
You need to create that. And go in. So these are the 4 not so surprising secrets.
I love them. They're
I
great
gave it all. I
secrets.
gave it all.
Be present. Know your why?
Live your why.
You live your why.
Yeah.
Be grateful and
Yeah.
have fun.
Oh.
Yeah, man. I love it. I love it.
But
And
you know what? Some people say it's the big choices in life that will define blah blah blah.
no,
And I say forget that. Yeah.
small little somethings.
It's all these small choices that you're making right now, listening to this podcast, that you're going to make right after walking out, that will add up all together with compound effect. We all know with the interest rates right now, what compound effect can make, that will end up defining who you are,
Yeah.
who you become, and the
Yeah.
color of your adventure.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't wait to the end for legacy. Legacy's left now.
I'm in. I'm in.
We're having fun. Aren't you having fun? Tell me you're not having fun.
It's a question of choice.
I know. I choose fun. I love it. I'm actually having a great time. And so funny because my team's like, you're way over time.
Oh yeah, are we? Yeah,
but it's okay. I host the podcast. I get to make the rule. I have to ask this final question because we were talking about it in the B-roll. Then I'll go to Rapid Thrivers.
Okay.
But you said you're married. You're the husband of a mountain climber.
Yeah. Huh. You want to know?
Yeah, I want to know
the story. Yeah, I did. My wife actually is an optometrist. She's an OD, but she is like the Energizer bunny on Red Bull. It's some people, they look at me and they say you're high energy. I mean, are you hyperactive? I mean, because I run, I bike, I swim, I do Ironman, half marathons, and so on. But you know what? I'm just trying to keep up with my wife. She's unreal.
More than you, though?
Sorry?
More than you?
Oh yeah, big time. Tenfold. Sometimes they tell you should dream tenfold, tenfold your dream, and all of a sudden you're going to think different. She's tenfold the energy that I am. I mean, we drive by a mountain, and I'm hoping she's not looking out the window, because if she looks out the window and she sees the mountain, we're going to need to climb it at some point. So that's why I say I'm the husband of a mountain climber, because every mountain that we see, we end up climbing it. But you know what? This is the type of energy
you need to go to flat places now.
Yeah, we need to go to Saskatchewan or something. The prairies,
farmland,
far from the mountains. But I love her so much. I love her more and more and more each second that goes by, because of that energy, because of the fact that we always face on challenges together, and we always look at each other and we say, let's go, let's do this. And we are, I think, the best team ever.
Wow, that's inspiring. Even that's inspiring. That's inspiring me. I love it. I mean, I hope my husband talks about me like that. Like I'm pretty tenfold myself. To his.
Yeah.
It's all relative, right? Like, but So Rapid Thrivers. Okay. When I ask you who inspires you, who comes first to mind and why?
Said who inspires me?
Yeah, someone who inspires you.
Oh man, well, I think we just talked about that person.
Okay. Yeah. I love it. I hope she's listening. You're gonna have to listen to this. Yeah.
She better.
She better.
Maybe I can get away with no gift somewhere because of that.
So what's a daily habit or activity that really, really keeps you in your vibe, like your high?
A couple of years ago, I did a training with a friend of mine. His name is Donald Fleming, and he's all about personal effectiveness. And every morning when I sit at my desk, I do not look at my inbox.
Okay.
I actually plan my day.
Mm.
I have a ritual where I look at all the tasks that I need to do. I plan the day. I look at what is on the schedule, who I need to call, and then I look at what is the main objective of that day. So this right now is one of the big ones. I open up my day with a planning, and it doesn't take half an hour.
Mm.
Within 2, 3, 4 minutes, I'm done. But then my day is clear. I know where I'm going, I know what is happening, and it's clear. So this is the best ritual to open my day. And when I close, right before leaving my office, I'm going to close my daily timer, and I find three gratitudes of the day.
Mm-hmm.
Three things that I'm happy for, proud of, and you know what? Today you're going to be my number one.
Ah.
Yeah, there you go.
Thank you. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, I love that. Thank you. You're gonna be mine too. I do 5.
Well,
Yeah, I love it. Okay, what is a book that is first of all, have you read every book behind you? And besides,
yeah, of
okay.
course, of
Okay,
course.
so pick one. What is a book that's helped you the most in your
Um,
your journey? Your favorite.
you're not going to be surprised because I talked about it, and I talk about. I think it's one of my not so surprising secret.
Start
It's
with one.
Start with Why from Simon
Simon.
Sinek.
Yeah.
He's to me he's a legend.
Oh,
Uh,
I
he's a
listen to it
legend.
probably every day.
Yeah. So that seriously, if you can read the first few chapters, get the and the idea is if you can reflect on why you do what you do, I think it really can change your
Yeah,
life.
yeah. I
And
agree.
some people say, that's too
I
fluffy,
agree.
the purpose and the
Yeah.
as soon as you find it, it's
Yeah.
unreal.
You know,
Unreal.
my biggest thing from Simon Sinek, just
Yeah.
that changed my trajectory and actually became my brand at
Yeah.
work is
Yeah.
him. There was a clip I heard from him one time where he talked, and you kind of talked about in the military. So
Mm,
he tells the story, but from it was really about imagine if organizations were very similar, where people,
mm.
rather than being employed, were deployed.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, I understood that. And literally, Martin, I fired myself as an
Huh.
employee. I was working at TD Bank at the time,
Yeah. Yeah.
fired myself as an employee, and literally right away changed my mindset to deploy to the organization. And
Wow.
my like at that point it became on deploy to help 90,000 employees because that was our employee base
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
26 million customers. And after that, the things that I attracted, I've been in commercials. I
Mm,
became a
mm,
public speaker within my
mm,
organization. Like I mentored, I ran programs, I became an executive. Like just the mindset changed.
mm.
So he is a
Yeah.
complete legend. Yeah.
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 Definitely.
What is an app that helps you with your Thrive?
Interesting. Right now, my wife is doing you know, they bug you sometimes with these 30-day challenges, you
Okay.
know, on on social media, on
Mhm.
Instagram. And right now we're doing a 30-day Pilates.
Okay.
Uh, you know what? It's you asked. This is it. I mean, the rest.
So
I'm
she got you in tights?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Sorry.
yeah, yeah. No, I'm a cyclist, so wearing tights and
Right.
is
It's
something
not,
that
yeah.
it's part of my life. But you know what? Apps I'm not so big on. My daily timer is
Journal.
still
Oh,
paper.
paper. Okay.
Is still paper.
Mhm.
I write. I mean, I'm of course I have an agenda online and Calendly and all that stuff. But I mean, most of my thinking and planning is inside a book, inside my day
I
timer.
love
That
it.
actually Donald Fleming, created his own.
Oh,
So I bought it from him. He has
ah.
an amazing
You
system.
fill up
Yeah.
one every how often?
This is 3 months.
3 months. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So one every quarter. So with all of the public speaking, all the stages you've been on, all of the
Yeah.
interviews you've done, and how we see you, and because I'm not, what is one misconception or what's something that people get wrong about you that you can share?
Well, people think I'm sometimes, since I'm going to say a bit not public, but we are with a lot of people. Um, I'm actually okay being alone.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm not going to tell you that I grew up with 10 of my brothers and sisters sleeping on the living room floor. I'm a lonely child. I went to Disney, I forget how many times when I was a kid. So being alone is cool for me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people say, "Ah, Martin, you're very social and everything." Yeah, I love social, but I'm okay
Yeah.
being
Yeah.
alone.
With all the books
And
that you have behind you, I can understand that. Yeah. You
yeah, and
don't, yeah.
I'm in my head, and I'm watching right now. There's a French version of Survivor on TV, and I'm watching that. And yeah, and some are stuck on an island. They call it the exile. They're stuck,
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
they find the day being so long. I'm looking at that, and I'm saying, I would love to be there. And because that's when I could dream and reinvent
Mhm.
and come up with my next big idea
Mhm.
of next story. So
Mhm.
I'm okay with that.
I
Yeah.
love that. I
Mm.
love that. So where do we find more of you online? I know if we get a yellow
Oh,
ball, it's there.
yeah. I mean, you need to call me up. Look me up either on my website. It's simple. It's www.martinlespérance.ca. Of course, you can find me on LinkedIn,
Mhm.
Facebook, Instagram,
Mhm.
and ring me up. And sometimes we look around ourselves, and I'm sure that everybody right now that is listening knows at least one, two, or three people that would need a dose of inspiration.
Mm. Mm.
And my goal,
Mm.
seriously, my goal is that people around us love their job.
Mm.
So and whenever I go into an organization, that's what happens.
Mm.
A few weeks ago, I was in southern Ontario, and they build cabinetry, very high-end cabinetry for kitchens and walk-in closets and so on. And I'm talking to these people, telling them the story, and at the end the president comes to see me, and he said, we have something cool to tell you. And I said, well, okay, it's been a couple of minutes since I'm off the stage. And he says, somebody from the crowd just came to see us. They had resigned yesterday, but we said, you know what? Can you at least attend the event? The whole company will be there. You can at least say bye to people and so on. And that person walked up to the president and to the HR person right at the end of the show and said, "Can we rewind? I would like to stay. I know that I can serve the people around me if I stay here." And the president looked at me and he said, "You see, your trip was paid just by this person staying." The idea is, it's unreal the number of people around us that don't like their jobs anymore.
Yeah.
So if ever you know some, tell them to reach out to me, or reach
Yeah.
out to me, and I will go and inspire them to love their job again.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
love it. Wow. I love you. I absolutely, it's like one of my favorite episodes by far, for
Yay!
sure. And I'm on 270. This is yours is like 274.
Oh,
So yeah.
holy
Yeah.
schmoly!
Yeah. Thank you.
I'm showing the Inspire yellow smiley ball right now on the screen. For all of you listening online, you're going to move to the YouTube channel very soon because
Yes, so this podcast is called Empowered in My Skin, and would love to know what that means to you.
I think that as soon as you realize that it's all a question of choice, you're going to realize that you are empowered to do anything that you want in life. It's a question of choice. There you go.
Question of choice. That might just be the episode name. It's a question of choice. It's powerful, man. I love it. Oh my God, this is amazing, amazing, amazing. And oh my gosh, I know I gotta say goodbye, y'all. I gotta say goodbye. But this is actually where I say thank you so much, Martin. You're just such a joy.
Thanks to you.
Like literally, I was at Speaker Slam. He was the invited keynote speaker, and I have it on video. Like I listened to every word. I remember what you wore. I was like, oh my God, I just want to be around your energy. You are absolutely contagious, and I'm happy I caught you.
There you go.
Happy I caught some Martin today, and it's definitely going to transcend through me. So thank you for your human. You're incredible, absolutely incredible. So to everyone that's listening, this is sadly where I have to say bye-bye, but guess what? You're gonna rewind it. Listen again. I love it. Thank you so much for listening. It's your girl, Martin. We're out. Bye.
Yay.
There you have it. I trust that you're feeling more empowered in your skin. And as the late Dr. Maya Angelou says, when you get, you give, when you learn, you teach. So it would mean so much for us at EIMS if you share this episode and tag us or teach an insight that you learned from today's episode on your socials and tag us. And remember to go over onto iTunes and leave us a review or follow us on socials at Empowered in My Skin. But most importantly, don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode.